There's something magical about hitting your first $100,000. It's not just another milestone. It's the point where money starts working for you, not the other way around. In this video, I'm going to show you what really changes once you cross that line. Mentally, financially, and strategically. Because $100,000 isn't just a number. It's the threshold where momentum begins and where you rise to riches. When you're under $100,000, every financial step feels heavy. You save, you hustle, and you wonder if it's ever going to add up. You're playing defense, protecting what you earn, trying to get ahead, inch by inch. But once you hit that six-figure mark, something shifts. You start to realize that money compounds faster. Opportunities come more easily, and your confidence begins to outpace your fear. You stop feeling like you're chasing money and start acting like money is chasing you. But this shift doesn't just happen because of the number in your account. It happens because of the way you think, the way you behave, and the way you use the power of leverage. In this video, we'll break down the 10 things that truly change after $100,000 and how you can get there and beyond, faster than you think. Before $100,000, growth feels slow. You save $50, invest $200, and the returns barely move the needle. But after $100,000, something changes. Compound growth kicks in. Suddenly, A by Shu return means Mei Yuan, not E by Mei Yuan. A 5% dividend gives you $5,000 per year for doing nothing. And the best part? It keeps compounding. Your money starts working harder than you do, and that's when real wealth begins to accelerate. So don't underestimate small wins early on, because once you hit critical mass, the math works in your favor. Every single day, when you're below $100,000, most of your energy goes into protecting what you have. You're budgeting hard, tracking every dollar, saying no to things just to stay safe. But once you cross six figures, you shift from defense to offense. Now you're asking, how do I multiply this? Where can I take smart risks? How can I turn capital into cash flow? It's no longer about cutting expenses, it's about building assets. And that switch in focus, it's what separates people who stay stuck from those who start moving fast toward financial freedom. Before $100,000, you're knocking on every door, pitching, applying, reaching out, hustling for attention and access. But once you have money, and people know it, the doors start opening for you. You get invited to collaborate. People pitch ideas to you. You hear about deals and investments most people never see. Because money isn't just a tool, it's a magnet. It attracts networks, leverage, and visibility. And when you combine that with smart positioning, you stop chasing opportunities and start choosing between them. When you're broke, every decision feels like it could ruin you. One bad move, one failed idea, and you're back to zero. But after $100,000, you have buffer, flexibility, breathing room. You can finally take calculated risks, the kind that lead to growth without the constant fear of collapse. You can try new income streams, invest in a business, test a new strategy. Because even if it doesn't work out, you're not starting from scratch. And that freedom, it changes how you move, how you think, and what you're willing to try. When you're under $100,000, your income is usually tied directly to your time. You work, you get paid. You stop, the money stops. But once you pass $100,000, and especially if you've invested part of it wisely, you start seeing cash flow show up. Dividends, digital products, rental income, interest, royalties, money that shows up without you needing to clock in. That's when your income stops being a grind and starts becoming a system. And when cash flow covers even a small part of your expenses, your pressure drops, your choices grow, and your time becomes your own again. Before $100,000, a $50 expense feels big. A $300 payment feels painful. But after you cross that line, you stop thinking in raw numbers and start thinking in percentages. Is this 1% of my net worth? Is this a 10% ROI? Is this risk worth the upside? That shift helps you make smarter decisions. Because now you're evaluating in relative terms, not emotional ones. It's no longer, can I afford this? It becomes, is this the best use of my capital? That's how you stop reacting and start managing your money like an investor, not a consumer. Hitting $100,000 isn't just a financial milestone, it's a psychological shift. You've proven to yourself that you can save, invest, build, and win. That builds confidence. and confidence changes how you move. You stop chasing shiny distractions. You stop panicking at every market dip. You stop rushing every decision. Instead, you become more strategic, more measured, more focused. And that confidence gives you something rare: patience. Because now you believe the process works, and you trust yourself to keep winning. Before $100,000, the question is always, how much can I make this month? How much should I save? How much do I need to quit my job? But after $100,000, the question shifts to, how long will this take to double? How long can this investment grow? How long can I stay consistent? You stop thinking in urgency and start thinking in This mindset shift is powerful, because wealth isn't built in intensity, it's built in duration. You realize that staying consistent for years beats being intense for weeks. And that's when you unlock the magic of long-term thinking. When you're under $100,000, the focus is all about how to make more. But once you hit that milestone, the game changes. Now you start thinking about how to protect what you've built. You look into insurance. You set up emergency funds. You study taxes. You diversify your assets. Because one bad move, one lawsuit, one medical bill, one blind investment can erase years of progress. Wealth isn't just about growth, it's about preservation. And smart protection strategies become part of your long-term wealth plan. Because you didn't come this far to lose it all in one swing. When you're climbing toward your first $100,000, it feels like the finish line. But once you get there, you realize it's just the starting point. It's not the end. It's the launch pad. Now you understand how money works. You've built good habits. You've proven what's possible. And suddenly, the next $100,000 feels faster. The next opportunity feels bigger. The next level feels inevitable. That's when you stop dreaming of freedom and start living it. One smart move at a time. The journey to $100,000 is hard, but it's also one of the most important transformations you'll ever go through. Because along the way, you don't just build your bank account. You build discipline, vision, and control over your future. And when you get there, everything starts to shift in your favor. So don't stop now, you're closer than you think. If this video opened your mind to what's waiting beyond $100,000, like it, subscribe to Rise to Riches, and comment below. What's your next move toward your first or next $100,000? Because you're not just saving money, you're building freedom, options, and momentum. Stay focused, stay patient, and keep going no matter what. Because once you hit that number, the game changes, and you rise to riches.